It is the weekly on this beautiful, yet getting a little bit cool, early September evening. My name is Will Cleosis. I am the smooth talker of Team Vorpal. And joining me tonight, for the first time ever, a special treat for everyone. It's the leader of Team Vorpal, the game changers themselves. It's Zardia. Zardia, how are you?
I'm doing great, Will. Good evening, everyone. We are primed and ready for a show this evening. And I am ready for Team Vorpal hype.
Yes. Zar, I've been trying to work with Zar forever. We do so much behind the scenes. Certainly Zar a lot more than myself, but we were able to get together for this great weekly match. We've got some information for you fans coming up real quick. League Season 2. You're actually getting a preview of that tonight. We'll get into that in just a little bit. But right now, the weekly race. We've got a good 10 runners tonight featured on your screen. Fuchsia Fantasy, Take No Prisoners, Fuchsia Fantasy in the upper left-hand corner. Elastoid, great showings in the new player matches, newer to the community as well, doing great. We got Tyrannex, he kind of had the idea for this weekly thing. He puts a lot of this together. And Wappy, also another new player, doing a lot of damage in the communities, Zar.
He is. We've got all these newcomers coming up, and they're putting on these great showings, and it's going to be exciting to see how they perform in the league, and it looks like we are underway.
We are underway. This is going to be the flags for the first stage of the tournament coming up, the League Season 2 coming up in early October. We'll get to that in just a little bit. 3 Force party members are Fighter, Red Mage, Black Mage. All players will have that in this match, along with Brack at level 1. I like seeing that.
Yeah, looks like we had Heal 2 available and A-Mute as well in the White Magic shop.
Double Fighter for Elastoid in the lower left-hand corner. I like that strategy. That's the only double fighter strategy that we see so far. Very good. Rapier's being picked up from Wappy in the lower right-hand side of your screen, moving the Thief up. That is a Thief, I think. Do we have any other Thieves? I don't think so.
I don't believe so.
Interesting strategy. We might see that again coming up on Saturday. We'll get to that in a little bit, too. Meanwhile, Fuchsia Fantasy taking no prisoners already. Living by his name is the first one out of the city of Canaria on his way toward the Temple of Fiends and already has to take a reset.
And we see the bottle is in Corneria for just over 2,500 gold, so the runners will have to keep that on their radar.
There is a 5% experience boost per key item in this match. Again, that's going to be coming up Season 2 here, Stage 1. Something to keep in mind. Try to get that bottle as soon as you can for an extra 5%. That stuff adds up, Zar, especially if you can get it early.
It does. There's all of the key items gain a ton of value with these flags.
Fuchsia Fantasy saves outside of Temple of Fiends. Is able to reset and get away from the bone encounter. The bones have spells. One of them's hold. Tyrannex is running into that right now. He's already got a paralyzed Black Mage. He's trying to fight through. They have Quad X too. There goes the Red Mage. Oh
no.
Oh boy.
Bones are boning Tyrannex, literally.
They did. Not much in the first 3 chests. A couple hundred gold, a heal potion. You always want to see money early, Zar. You want to get camping equipment early so you're safe. Maybe a couple weapons or a piece of armor. We don't have that here.
No, it does not appear there's much available. There was a small amount of gold there in the southwest chest. And Fuchsia using Brack on Garland, and he is down.
Broken into pieces. Fuchsia Fantasy takes out Garland. Is rewarded with the canoe from the King of Canaria, and the tail for potential quick class promotion from Princess Sarah.
Indeed, very good items. Again, with the tail, I believe you get a bonus, and the canoe is going to allow them to access a great deal of locations now.
A few of our runners off stream include Shadow Walker 227, very active in the community, a lot of success competitively as well as off stream. Ikbin Maya's in this. The organizer of the League Season 2, he's picking up the controller and putting down the headset. Edgeworth, the champion of the 2018 Spring Tournament, he's in this match as well. They're off-screen. Girl Drink Drunk's in this, Tarnin's in this. We got a whole host of people.
Wonderful turnout today. It's very refreshing to see all these people interested in FFR, and the league hype is building. Signups are open. We'll have more details for that coming up soon during the broadcast.
Wappy takes out Garland, picks up his tail and his canoe. Elastoid trying to get that Brack off. Elastoid takes out Garland, broken into pieces. The Brack hits after a couple rounds for Elastoid. He's going to go ahead and pick up his tail and his canoe.
Small amount of gold in the dwarf cave chests that are currently accessible.
Now Czar, the League Season 2. Free Bridge is back on. We see Tyrannex and Wappy right side of your screen utilizing that right now. We haven't seen that since pretty much the first tournament. We don't see much of that lately. That's coming back. So 2 different ways we could go here. We got the canoe. We could head to Dwarf Cave and go south, or we could go north. It looks like most of our players are headed north here on the right side of your screen. Future Fantasy headed west and south with the canoe, though.
Yeah, it's interesting routing divergences here. It's hard to resist going past the bridge. You have 2 locations there. One of them is a town, which is obviously very lucrative.
Tyrannex trying to use Brack to take out an ogre. Broken into pieces. It hits again. Very accurate spell. If I'm not mistaken, I see a Split Punched joining us in chat. You want to know anything about Brack, you can ask that gentleman right there. He knows it. Fuchsia Fantasy has made his way to Elfland Town. Headed directly to the level 3 black magic. Let's take a look at that. Not much. Ice 2 can do some damage, but Rub, Lock, Slow 2, not too useful.
Wappy finding a dragon sword and an opal shield in Matoya's cave. So we have options here for gold now and a better weapon.
Do you almost automatically sell that opal shield in this type of environment, Czar, to get that money early?
Absolutely. I think you have to. And I'm seeing spells on Tyrannex now. We have Nuke and Bane at level 2 for the black magic. And for white magic, we have Life 2, Harm 2, Fear.
It's pretty good. So we're talking Bane, Nuke, and Life 2 for the Forced Red Mage, which all our players are going to have. That's going to be a very valuable light warrior, I think, to all our players tonight.
Yes, Red Mage definitely paying dividends now with that spell selection. That's going to make things quite a bit easier on these runners, I believe, now with these spells. So we're going to be in for a possible jet seat here, depending on the items to come.
Could be, yeah. You can kind of feel the engines revving a little bit. I also saw Fast. Level 4 Black Magic. Fuchsia Fantasy saw it over in Elfland. The Pirates have been defeated by Tyrannex on the upper right-hand side of your screen, taken out fairly quickly. Bicky handed over the slab. So no sign of the status quo changer yet. We're talking about the floater, of course, to get that airship, get in here and open up the world. So we haven't seen that.
No, I mean, obviously, all the runners have to be thinking that they want the floater at this point, but the slab is an option. And again, you have that extra EXP, so will we see a POP grind here, possibly?
Gosh, given those spells, there's a lot of different options. Assuming you find them, of course, and because they are definitely learnable, depending on the routing that you select. Fuchsia Fantasy right now is the first player in this entire match to make it to Crescent Lake. There is an item here with the Circle of Sages, and you can see, Czar, what's going on? What's going on with the Sages? They're all over the place. They're confused.
They appear to be confused. What has happened here?
I don't know what they're doing, but Fuchsia Fantasy looking for that item. Is it the floater? He's finding nothing but wisdom. Oh, the crown.
Yes, the plot thickens now. We are seeing some fetch quest coming into this run, absolutely, at this point.
Right, and we know this, and you viewers know this. Fuchsia Fantasy is going to head directly to Provoca, probably thinking and certainly hoping that Bicky is holding the floater. He's not going to find that. He's going to find the slab. Now, that crown opening up here, you got to start making some decisions, Czar. Do you turn in the crown? Do you jump into the volcano? Is there incentivized item in Ice Cave? I don't believe there is. There is not. So Ice Cave is not incentivized in this match. Now, things are changing. Remember, this is the League Season 2 flag set. I don't think we're going to see a lot of Ice Cave in the future, and we might not even see it at all tonight.
We might not, and we've seen a couple of these key items come up now. No floater. Are we looking at a possible waterfall floater here, or a Sarda floater? Yeah,
Sarda could be. That would require the ruby. Everyone loves those, right? Castle Ordeals is incentivized. Other than the Locked Canaria, that's the only other really incentivized location that isn't normal, like the waterfall, like you said, Czar. This could be a floater in Locked Canaria. After you turn in the crown and hike to get the Mystic Key. That's where I'm starting to think this might be going.
Very possible, and even possible. We'll know once we get to those keylock chests. It will take a little bit of routing to, get around all this. So Jet Seed is looking a little less likely at this point.
Yeah, up and down, kind of like blackjack. That's why I like to call something that goes so well and then goes so terribly slow. The leagues are Season 2. Ikben Maya just put out this week the flag sets, the stages, all the titles, and all the sort of things that we're going to do. The signups on the first days are, we had like 30 people jump right in, right off the bat. And it was just awesome. We've got teams going on, Czar. Teams of 4 are playing. I think it's like an every other week sort of thing. It's individual, it's team. We got so much going on and coming up here. It's going to be tough to cover. I would suggest joining the Discord, Czar. We have all the information there, all the links. If it interests anyone that might want to join the team, I know there's some teams out there that are missing some players, or play as an individual as well.
Indeed, we're looking for anyone and everyone to come and join us. We have a great community of people at the Discord, eager and ready to help you get started learning the randomizer. And as we've seen in past weeks, these new people are coming in, learning the randomizer within a day or two, and putting up solid times.
Yeah, really solid times. There's going to be an upcoming match here coming Saturday night, right here on Randomizer. Randomizer. It's going to be 7 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to talk about that a little bit later, but it involves a well-known name in the community, and it involves a soon-to-be well-known name in the community. We'll leave it at that for right now, and we'll tell you about that a little bit later on. Meanwhile, Wappy has entered the Crescent Lake in the Circle of Sages, finds the confused old man about to pick up his crown. Future Fantasy heads to Provoca, like we thought, picks up the slab, and he's got to be able to, he can't definitely not be happy about that. So what do you do here, Czar? Is it the crown quest to get the Mystic Key?
At this point, I think yes, unless, you're feeling confident with your spells and you might want to dip into Volcano, check that armory. Might find a little better gear in there, possibly something that could be useful. Other than that, I think that the top priority should be the crown quest at this point.
Yeah, I would think so as well. If you notice in your lower left-hand screen, Elastoid just picked up rapiers. Hasn't, seen much of weapons. We saw a couple players do that earlier, so it looks like our players are adjusting to essentially the forced party characters here, making sure they have a little bit of melee attacks. Meanwhile, Elastoid's heading back toward the Elfland area. Also, I would think if we're Fuchsia Fantasy in that area right now of Canaria, if you have the money by selling like the Opal Shield, definitely pick up the vendor item in Canaria. It's cheap and it gives you that extra 5%. I think it could be a big advantage.
Yeah, I agree. And we see again on tier next screen there some of the level 4 magic available. We saw Stop, Lightning 3, and we also saw Cure 4 at the level 4 White Mage shop. And tier next is now going for this. Who's this? It's not the kindly old king of the Northwest Castle? What?
What? What are you talking about? The guy was missing his crown. It's the Dark Elf. The Dark Elf Astos. They talked about him in Elf. Oh, he's gone. Level 9 for Tyrannex takes out Astos. Astos always a good fight earlier in the game, and almost always when you're able to take out the Dark Elf gives you a level. It can be problematic from time to time, but it's always a good fight to have early.
Yeah, and it's a good thing that these spells are available as well, as Astos can usually be a pain to take out with melee attacks. Usually very high evade and absorb.
A lot of spells don't work against Astos as well. Tyrannex takes out Astos, right behind him Elastoid. Lower left-hand side of your screen, upper left-hand side of your screen, Fuchsia Fantasy. It looks like all our players are making this move. So I've got to think, turn in the crown, get the crystal, back to Matoya's, and then hike. All the way back down. Looks like most of our players are making the Mystic Key type play here.
Yes, they're making the mystical journey, carrying the witch's herb to the elf prince on foot. So, given what we've seen thus far, Will, what strat would you be employing at this point? Would you be thinking ordeals here? Are you going to want to hit that incentive right away? Should you pick up a ship? Are you thinking possibly to the waterfall to find something that could be there? Or are you thinking maybe a grind?
Waterfall would be out for me, unless we've missed it here. I didn't see access to warp or exit. I have a staunch rule that I stick by, and I always stick to my plans. I don't like walking out of there. You can get ambushed. You got the birds. You got mummies. You got those galls that can absolutely wallop you. And I'm gonna want to have that unless it's absolutely not accessible, and that's much later from now. So Waterfall for me would be out. You've got access to Nuke. You've got access to Brack. Certainly a few other things as well. Ice 2. Ordeals would be the play should the floater not be located in the locked Castle Canaria, I would think.
Indeed, I'm inclined to agree, and I think that's a very solid strategy. It's Wukleosis has been excelling at his knowledge of FFR, and he is a beast in entrance randomizer. So look out for this guy in the league, everyone.
Yes, entrance and floor shuffle, the randomizer. We've had many, a good amount, I guess you could say, of exhibitions of it, and that is my thing. Anything straightforward like this, I don't know if I struggle with it, whatever, or why, but entrance and floor shuffle, Wukleos is gonna kick some butt, hopefully.
Yeah, that's right, Tommy. You know them witches got the dankest herb.
Mr. Versetti, one of our mainstays in the crew here for Final Fantasy Randomizer in our community, joining us, helping out with our tracking a little bit. For our first-time tracker, SVJs are St. Von Jester jumping out of the crew and helping us out tonight. Thank you very much. Speaking of crew, Manochi85, the restreamer here tonight on Randomania. Always a pleasure, always such a great job, and we certainly appreciate Manochi85 helping us out, bringing all the fans and the community all the action here tonight for the weekly while we start to gear up for the League Season 2. And we do believe it will be October 2nd.
Yeah, that is a projected date we're looking to begin, so it's right around the corner here. September is usually known to be a swift month, so before you know it, we're going to be kicking the league off here, and with everybody that's been showing up and running, I'm not downplaying anyone. I think that a lot of dark horses will come up in this league.
Super Red Jack joining us in the chat. Always a pleasure to see you at Super Red Jack. You get Wukleosis and Zardia, first time ever tonight. So thank you for joining us wherever, whenever you are watching, whether it's a month from now or tonight live right here on Randomania. We certainly thank you for bringing us into your home for all this great action from, so we got, about 10 players total in this match, and it's going to be great. It looks like Fuchsia Fantasy and Elastoid have made their way and picked up the Mystic Key.
They have the key now, yes. They're going to be checking those chests right away. We had a question from Split Punched in chat. How are we going to get ordeals without a canoe or ship? Well, obviously, we're going to have to find something along that matter to get there. I think at some point, these runners will find it. Chests are running out quickly. And we see that in Elfland, we have a ribbon in the Elf Kingdom chest and a katana as well.
Katana.
So that's going to sell.
Now, Wappy here, he's got a thief. That's going to be a very accessible item. Wappy, I'm going to pick that up fairly quickly. That makes you... Does that give Wappy a slight advantage to a certain context at a point here? Picking up a katana potentially that early, tail already in hand, especially if the floater is in Canaria Castle?
I would say yes. I think that if you have a thief in your party, you should hold on to the katana. It is lucrative to sell it. The only circumstance I would consider selling it with a thief is if I saw something like exit and my mages were high enough level to use it, or possibly warp. But with the tail in hand already, I think you have to hold on to that katana.
We'd also like to welcome another member of Team Vorpal, the Baroness herself, to the chat room. It is Lyra SRL, one of our favorites. Czar, welcome Lyra. Lyra's on the crew as well here in our community. It's just such a great community. And speaking of our community, Czar, these new player matches, we've been doing them for 2 months now. The turnout, the success rate, I'm blown away by it. It's just absolutely amazing. Players that have joined that didn't get a chance to enter the tournament discovered the community, and the game itself that's been created by our dev team has been it's just absolutely blown me away. And these players are going to do some damage in the future. We better watch out.
Yeah, it's it's just a testament to how genuine the community is, how willing everyone is to help and be on the same page and avoid a lot of the trolling issues that tend to happen in some of these communities. And we have the best devs around. And
yes.
In playing other randomizers and experiencing some myself, I'm reminded of that more every day. So in the time that we have been live since the first tournament, I do not believe that we've had a soft lock seed yet. So testament to our devs for giving us this quality entertainment.
That's right. Thank you very much to Trope, Nits, the Meridian BCs, Tartapans, a lot of other people contributing as well, the Challenge Seed people, the Demon Frogs and Falconics, all chipping in to do everything that they possibly can within their skill set and having a role and really playing that role really well and working together. I'd like to update you off stream right now. We've got a rather large route divergence. Ikbin Maya has entered the Marsh Cave. So we'll see if that could be, that's a move, Czar. That could pay off. It could be a bust. We'll see how that, if that could benefit Maya at this point in just a little bit.
Yeah, that's a huge gamble. And who knows, he might find something in there and it'll be a game changer. We got a question in chat. So is it possible for any chest to have a key item with these flags? I believe that there might be one that could be shuffled out. Let me verify that.
Yeah, there can always essentially be something that gets pushed out. I wouldn't use the term rare, but it's not likely. Fuchsia Fantasy has picked up the floater. It is in Keylog Canaria Castle, like we sort of predicted. The likelihood of that was pretty high. Fuchsia's the first one with the floater. But items such as the ship and such are really not incentivized. Also the bridge, they're supposed to be kind of out there, but every now and then they can actually pop on an NPC. An NPC is of course a non-playable character. For instance, talking to Princess Sarah after you rescue her. And if one of those items turns up from them that isn't supposed to be there, well, whatever was supposed to be there essentially gets pushed out, and it could essentially be anywhere as long as it doesn't lock its location. So you never really know. Welcome to Final Fantasy Randomizer.
Yeah, lots of question marks, lots of divergences. Gambles pay off huge, and they can also be very detrimental. It's the wonderful world of FFR. So with floater in hand now, Tyrnex and Fuchsia are basically side by side, and our other two runners are going to be getting that floater very soon. I do think we'll be seeing quite a bit of divergence once they take to the skies.
Yeah, off stream right now, Edgeworth, our champion, Shadow Walker have just picked up their floater as well. Wappy's in the area. He'll go ahead and dig that out fairly quickly as well. So we got 5 players essentially right in the area of the floater to go ahead and change the status quo. We're nearing, we're around the 21-minute mark, so that's a fairly normal time to get it. Maybe you'd like to get it sooner, certainly. Czar, once you get into the airship, the Starship Airgazer, what's the first thing you're going to do?
Well, I think when you first pick it up, given the location you're at, which is the Ryukon Desert, you have a couple options. You can check Crescent Town real quick if you haven't been there yet. You can fly south to Gaia, and perhaps they have the bottle, so they might want to run there real quick and see what's there. Or you can head a little bit north and then a little bit east across the ocean, and you can check Sarda's Cave, Titan's Tunnel, Melmond, and that area. So you basically have 3 divergences you can take there and remain on a pretty straight line route.
Yeah, and I kind of like that Gaia play. I think that's probably the least likely, but I like the Gaia play based upon the flag set and understanding the game that you're playing. We're talking about another 5% of a key item here that would give you the Oxyale in this set as well. The tail is also in hand. Do you want a class change? I would certainly think that all our players are going to like to and want to as soon as they can, based upon the light warriors that they're carrying. And then there's the Cardia Islands as well. So when we talked earlier about the airship opening up this game, oh, does it ever? And we're going to see some route divergence here fairly quickly. And these 5 runners, essentially, that we have in this match right now with the floater are going to really separate themselves. And we'll see how routing affects it as we see Fuchsia Fantasy now is in the air, heads directly to what you said, Czar, to Sarda's Cave to get yet another incentivized item. Or key item, excuse me.
Yes, and with all these key items now becoming available, we have a ever-growing experience boost as Sarda gives up the cube.
Do you stop by Melmond right here as well if you're in the area, Czar? Do you translate the slab and check out level 5 warp exit, maybe?
Yeah, I definitely think you should. It looks like Fusa's opting to head to Cardia Islands at this point, but
yeah.
And just to verify the earlier question in chat, sorry, Will, we have main NPCs checked, and the incentivized locations are Ordeals and Corneria. The only incentivized item is the tail, and with treasure and main NPC items in the item shuffle, I do not believe that you can pick up a key item in a chest. It's not incentivized.
Elastoid picks up his floater. He's got to be happy to see that. A little over 2 minutes behind the first player to pick it up, Fuchsia Fantasy, who's directly above him. Terranex does make the play that we just talked about, Czar. Gonna check level 5 magics. He's harm 3, not too much in white magic. How about black?
Temper's there.
Temper's good. That's in the warp slot, though. Class change locked to both the red mage and the black mage.
Yeah, I believe we saw X for there as well in the white shop.
Gold bracelets are for sale in Melmon, 15,000 gold. Reasonable. You like seeing that.
Oh yeah, that's a big defensive boost for your mages, and ideal piece of armor even for endgame. Terranex does translate the slab from the good doctor, and he's probably going to be on his way to Lethean at some point.
Yep, that can be definitely routed together now for Terranex, trading in the bottle, assuming he bought it, which I believe he did. Our wonderful tracker, SVJ St. Von Jester, his first night on the job. He's on top of everything, Czar. He's got all these things lit up, and four players in a match is not easy your first time out tracking.
No, certainly not. As Fuchsia is now headed to get his class change, and he will be the first to... They're evolving!
Wappy is still on foot. Not sure. Let's see. Wappy has the floater. Wappy's on foot. Right next to Elastoid, actually. The 2 players on the bottom of your screen. They're headed as fast as they can to the Ryukon Desert to even up this match a little bit and pick up their airship.
So they're definitely going to be well prepared when they do decide to dive one of the Fiend dungeons. I think obviously the first one should be Volcano. You have a big stash of chests in there, and it's usually the best place to begin. You have a good chance to get a grind going there as well, which is something we might see from some of these runners.
Off-stream, Ikben Maya has left the Marsh Cave. I couldn't quite catch if he caught anything, but he's still in the canoe, so it looks like that gamble, which I would certainly think was a gamble, might not have paid off. And we have our first entrant into the Gurgu Volcano. It is the champion. Edgeworth has entered the volcano. Just like you said, Czar, that's a good place to go first if you're looking to get some gear, take on some enemies based upon your spell selection that you can feel comfortable taking on.
For sure, and that's a classic Edgeworth play there. You know, that's vintage Edgeworth. Always seems to be making the right move.
Elastoid's down to 1 warrior. His black mage is down, his fighter's down, his top fighter has been petrified. He gets away with a nuke spell from the red mage and is able to turn in the floater. Potential disaster averted. Elastoid gets away, uses up the life too, and is back on his light warrior journey.
A bit of a scare there for Elastoid, but I don't think he panicked there. He pulled it out, and he'll be continuing on here, no problem.
Looks like he's going to use a 3 light warrior strategy at this point. Very common, very well used nowadays. Some players are using 2. A lot of different strategies become involved. The flag set, what's the experience boost? What are you forced? A lot of different things to take into account. And really the player's own strengths. What are you accustomed to? What have you run before? What classes do you feel comfortable with? You see so many different things, strategies, ways you can do things in this game. It's such a great diversity to certainly watch. One player might go one way, one player might go the other way, and then they end up in the Temple of Fiends Revisited 90 minutes later at the same exact time.
There are so many variables and so much variety, and this is just meta, you know? You get to the randomizer itself to set up your game, and the amount of options are mind-boggling. For this flag set, we're looking at 180% enemy stat cap with 56% on the lower end, and the boss stats will be the same. So we could get some nasty gatekeepers toward the end here. With the 2.4x 0 on the baseline experience gold boost, and the amount of key items found already, I think we'll see both of these, all of these runners leveling up very quickly.
I think so too. I think that would definitely be the plan. Terranex, meanwhile, has entered the volcano. Trap tiles are shuffled in this. You notice Terranex went to check these 2 chests up here. He's taking it again. He's taking the trap tile again. This is normally a fire trap tile that can be very annoying. Tyrannix is taking the trap tile. He sees the mummies. This is the same encounter set or variation that you get in the waterfall. He's looking for more wizard mummies, but he's going to take a couple of these fights, and just like Zar just said, he's going to get some experience. He's going to get it pretty fast. You could have a trap tile shuffle where the Agama trap tile turns into a bunch of gray imps. You could have it turn into 3 eyes. And they were not in the original game, Zar. We've got options at FinalFantasyRandomizer.com, actually the alpha version, which we do allow out to the public, that you can play and test and have a blast with, of formations and groups of enemies that were never in the original game. 3 eyes, 3 blue dragons, a whole bunch of different things that you've never seen before. It's really exciting and fun to play.
It is. It's like a whole new dimension of this game can be discovered and even exploited through all of these options that the devs spoil us with. And even we see our wonderful tracker here at Randomania. As Tyrannix is in the volcano, we have our interactive backgrounds, which keep people, adrift, keep them entertained. I'm really looking forward to the league and how everything's going to play out here.
Oh, it's going to be an absolute blast. I can tell you that off-stream, Ikben Maya, it looks like his gamble to Marsh did not pay off. He's fallen pretty far behind. He does not even have the Mystic Key quite yet at this point. So Marsh Cave doesn't look like it'll be required or is very helpful at this point in time. Fuchsia Fantasy has gone to Lefane, talked to the Lupa Lupas after translating his slab, and he's got the chime. Now we're 30 minutes in here, Zar. I can't think we'll see any sort of Mirage Tower or anything this quick.
He might decide to dip in there real quick, check the first and second floor.
Okay.
As Tyrannix finds the Mass Mune in the armory.
Ooh, good weapon to find, especially earlier in the game. It'd be a little bit better if you had a white mage or a white wizard on your team, but you're probably not going to turn down the Masmune. Equipable by any light warrior at any time during the entire game. No restrictions on that weapon. Very high damage, lower crit rate, but, no one can be perfect.
Elastoid finding a flame armor in the Cardia Islands.
Wappy's joining Elastoid in the Cardia Islands as well. Tyrannix re-enters the Gugu volcano, starting to dig deeper. With that Masmune in hand, I gotta think that this is that made Tyrannix's decision pretty easy. Go ahead, clear this out to his extent that he wants to, and go ahead and take out Carry. That should make that fight a lot easier.
Oh yeah, with fast and temper at his disposal, he has class change. Katana is available as well. Unless we see a really nasty carry, he should be through this volcano with very little trouble.
Wappy checking the keylock chests in Northwest Castle. Gets a couple bucks, a soft potion, and some pocket change. Fuchsia Fantasy has made his way to Gaia, gonna turn in the bottle and pick up his Oxyel. That puts the Sea Shrine potentially on the table. Zar, unless we've missed it, I've still not seen Warp or Exit.
I have not either, so we're possibly looking at level 7-8, which is going to be discouraging to these runners, I'm certain.
I definitely have not seen the level 6 magic, though. I don't know if SVJ or Falconic here in the chat can maybe let us know if maybe we missed it, but that is a key integral part of a lot of strategies, certainly including mine. The access to it, the availability of it, what it might be paired with. If you get Warp on the same level as Exit, or excuse me, as Nuke, then you got to manage your resources.
Yeah, you do. And I do recall at level 6 Black Magic we had Quad X, but there was no Warp there, so. Fuchsia now making his run over to our deals, and Tyro will be spared. Tyrannix running into a load of bull.
Wappy going back after class change to Provoca to Magic. That's Life 2. That was Life 2, I believe, was level 2. That's Knight learnable. That's huge.
Yeah, that is. A Knight with Life 2 is very good in Temple of Fiends Revisited. You have a strong tank that can deal a lot of damage, and should the worst case happen against the Fiend and your party's wiped, they usually have the highest chance to survive.
Off stream, we have our first entrant of this race to Castle Ordeals, followed closely by Fuchsia Fantasy. It is Edgeworth who's in the Castle Ordeals. This is just what an example, Czar. You've got Edgeworth, so much success, Fuchsia Fantasy, so much success. They're headed directly to Ordeals. I've got to think that or the Volcano, really 50-50, at least for me, would be, depending on where you are, the correct first play here from a more professional player's standpoint.
Yeah, it's quick. You can get in and out. You have a high density of chests. You have the option to grind with trap tiles there. I mean, and seeing as these runners have found a ribbon, and the Massmune was in the armory, that increases your chances to proceed with that grind as well.
Well, how about this? Lower left-hand side of your screen, Elastoid. One of our new players, started with our new player matches and tournaments, very successful, is making the move. He's entering Mirage Tower. I like this play.
I think it's a good play. You have a large density of chests in Mirage Tower without too much routing. Granted, you do have some enemies in here that can be troublesome, but with these, minimal amount of walking on the first floor, I think that's an auto check, as he does find a gold bracelet there.
Fuchsia Fantasy makes quick work of the Pillar Maze in Castle Ordeals. Terranex tearing through the Volcano. One chest away in the Agama trap tile. Let's take a look at Terranex's screen right here. Remember, shuffled trap tiles. This is not going to be an Agama. He's going to heal up. He's been walking through the lava. You don't know what could be here. You get ambushed. It could be 6 waters. It could be airs that are unrunnable. You never quite know. Terranex goes in and gets giants and iguanas from the Hall of Giants.
Yeah, nothing too scary. You can get the dreaded unrunnable trap tile when you're deep in a dungeon, and that can put a damper on things very quickly.
Or they ambush you. I know, Czar, me and you have played some matches late at night, and we get ambushed, and we are not happy about it. Fuchsia Fantasy closing in on Castle Ordeals and its incentivized chest. That's the last incentivized location. The loot, absolutely required. Almost always will be. The trap tile shuffle yields a gray shark that Fuchsia's going to pass on. Good experience there, Czar, but gray sharks can be annoying. They can have evasion, they can absorb, they usually roll a lot of HP. I think that's a good idea. Just get out of there and get going on. Moving on with this.
Yeah, I think Fuchsia is definitely in a hurry here. So with the incentives off the table now, we are in essence simply looking for the rod at this point.
And I would certainly think that the NPC character, the robot in the waterfall,
that's
would be.
That's almost guaranteed where the rod is. So we'll probably see Fuchsia run over there, and at that point, we'll see if he decides to go into Shrine. Is he going to go into Volcano? Lots of options here now.
Off stream, Shadow Walker has joined Elastoid in the Mirage Tower. We're at the 37-minute mark. Bold plays from newer faces, newer names. We haven't seen them in tournament action before. And they're clearly not afraid, Czar. Not at all, and I admire that. That is gutsy.
It is, and often that's a key to winning, is making that bold play and going in there and finding that item that no one else might find that early. We'll see if it pays off, as Elastoid is now looting, and he finds an adamant and a heal staff.
That will lead to the Excalibur. Now, Czar, Elastoid's got a dual knight thing going on here. He's had that knight on the ground for quite a while. You're going to get the Massmune, I would think, fairly quickly in the Volcano, especially if that comes up soon thereafter. I would think you got to start at least considering resurrecting that second knight with that damage dealing capability.
Absolutely, and with the experience bonus as well, that knight will pick up levels very quickly, and Opal Armor now becomes available. Yeah, with he'll have a potent knight combo with an Excalibur and a Massmune moving forward, should he decide to resurrect.
And another thing with the dual knight strategy, dual fighter, HP. HP can be really, really high. You can utilize one knight as an absorb machine in the front. You can use your other knight as a potential damage dealer, what I like to call the killer. You'd want to equip that knight, with like an Aegis shield, a dragon armor, and some sort of great end game weapon. I would certainly think Czar, preferably, probably the Vorpal sword.
Yeah, with these experience boosts, I think going out of your way to kind of maybe level the knights or a solo knight, should you find the Vorpal, the game changer, would be greatly beneficial, as we also have fast and temper available. If one of these gatekeepers does end up rolling high evade absorb, the Vorpal has been proven to be more effective than Excalibur or even the Massmune.
Fuchsia Fantasy, and we don't have Edgeworth on screen, but Edgeworth is on the trap tile of the waterfall right now. Fuchsia Fantasy has just stepped on the trap tile of the waterfall. Once again, two great players of this game, really showing you how it's done from a routing perspective. I think routing, Czar, I just think it's really underrated. I think that a lot of players don't really quite get it in the beginning, because I know I didn't. And they're like, routing, well, I'm just going to get the game, I'm going to kick its butt. With how important it is and how players like Fuchsia Fantasy demonstrating this in the upper left-hand corner of your screen, how important it is, and to make your run just that smooth. It's being shown right now by the champion off stream and Fuchsia Fantasy right here on our featured runners.
Indeed it is. The lines that you can lose time on the overworld or even in dungeons add up very quickly. As we see, the rod is indeed at the robot in the waterfall, and I believe we also found a sun sword in there.
Wappy making his way through the Temple of Fiend, or excuse me, the Castle Ordeal. Gonna find his loot. Absolutely a required trip here. Most trips will be required. Loosen chests in this type of flag set and design for the League will be the ship, Canal, the Ruby, which does yield you 4 chests, which could potentially be required. Because, Czar, we've had it happen, and it's a nightmare. Uh-oh. Elastoid's in trouble, Czar. Elastoid's trying to get out of the Mirage Tower. Again, no warp and no exit. He's down to 1 warrior. He's got the red mage. He was down on 1 knee, trying to get out. He steps away, though. And there's a potential problem right there, that you don't have warp or exit when he got demolished by something.
Indeed, it's with both of those spells off the table, you really have to consider survivability, and the heal staff, I think, could pay off quite a bit there from the Mirage staff in that circumstance.
Wappy closing in on the incentivized chest to pick up his loot in Castle Ordeal. Tyrannex raiding the floor of the Mirage Tower. Elastoid diving in deeper. We're going to see the trap tile shuffle here. It used to be the blue dragon. Right now it's just a couple of undead. You can't take them for granted, but you want to get by these and head to the floating fortress. Elastoid is our first player in this match to enter the floating fortress, along with Shadow Walker off stream.
We've got some very interesting divergences going on across the board here.
Two Gray Shark, 1 Wizard Sahagin counter for Wappy. Pretty good experience here. You're already class changed. The Gray Shark showing their high HP that we talked about before. Wappy mows him down with nuke and a couple of physical attacks. I might have taken a couple more fights there. Would you have thought about that, Czar? The trap tile there, 2 Gray Sharks and a Wizard Sahag?
With houses available, absolutely. I would have cast all my nukes there and then continued on.
Lose all your charges, yep.
But again, it's this is a race, and you save time by not doing that. So it's Wappy with from a purely racing perspective, the right move.
Mm-hmm. Elastoid runs into an eye encounter in the floating fortress. The eyes have the crack skill, took out the Black Wizard, but Elastoid, of course, with that early life 2 availability, quickly resurrects it, the Black Wizard. Fuchsia Fantasy is our first player featured here to enter the Sea Shrine. Right on Edgeworth, off stream his steps, he's at the Sea Shrine as well. Heading directly to Kraken.
Yeah, at this point, it's pretty much go mode, so gotta go.
Fuchsia Fantasy has not done the volcano area quite yet. Is it possible that he skips the armory? That's the area where the Mazmoon was located. He does not have the Vorpal weapon. No defense sword has been located quite yet. So with one ribbon, do you have the weapons? Not sure. I like Tyrannex's position right now, given that he's had the Mazmoon for a while and the ribbon.
Yeah, Fuchsia does have a Sun Sword, so with Fast and Temper, that's viable. I mean, obviously it's not ideal, but it is viable. Right. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see Fuchsia push onward with just that Sun Sword, but at some point I do think they will check the armory.
We'd like to remind you, and Zar, we've been talking about this a little bit here and there, all these new player events that we've been doing it for 2 months with a dozen players showing up each and every time. Players that are new to the community, didn't get a chance to join the tournament. They're all finishing. It's been absolutely fantastic. We've had one player in particular, a few really, but one player, a gentleman by the name of Romulus, has emerged to become the #1 player for SRL, Speedruns Lives, in points for Final Fantasy Randomizer. We have a special challenge match coming up. It's right here on Randomania. It's going to be on Randomania 1. It's going to be Saturday night. It's the 8th. The 8th of September, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Romulus has been challenged by yours truly himself, the Dragon Slayer, Bucleosis, trying to take out the undefeated Romulus. That's going to be right here on Randomania Family of Networks, Randomania 1. We're going to call and great commentary from Demon Frog getting back in the booth. We got Mr. Persetti's going to join us as well as we get what we're calling a steel cage match. The #1 ranked undefeated player against the special challenge from yours truly, Zar. I think it's going to be a great match. It's going to be floor and entrance shuffle, and it's going to be a blast.
Yeah, looking very forward to that race. I wish you the best of luck. I know that Rom has been performing extremely well.
Oh, yeah.
Just remember, use the Vorpal.
Oh, that's well. Does a bear roam in the woods? Adamant pickup for Wappy here in the Mirage Towers. Gotta like seeing that. Fuchsia Fantasy using Nuke on some Scorpions, closing in on the Fiend of Water Kraken. We're at the 46-minute mark, and orbs are scarce so far. Tyrannex has the Fire Orb. That's all we see for our featured runners.
Yeah, I think that orbs are going to go relatively quickly once these runners feel comfortable with their gear and progressing in that direction. And I think we'll probably see most runners in Temple around maybe at the hour mark, maybe even sub 110.
I was thinking about 110. Yeah, we haven't seen anything too dangerous. The eyes with crack, something wrecked Elastoid. I know I missed it, but nothing too stalworthy. Unrunnable red hydras are they're on Tyrannex's screen right now. He's going to use the Mazmoon and Nuke to take them down. Brack from Fuchsia Fantasy against Kraken is ineffective. There's another Brack. That's ineffective. How about a third one from Fuchsia Fantasy? That's no good. Kraken not hitting too hard, though. Attacks, I believe that's the Thief. I'm not sure what that is. Another Brack from Fuchsia Fantasy. Broken into pieces. Down goes Kraken. Fuchsia Fantasy lights his first orb. The 47-minute mark. I've got to think that he is in go mode and he's going to start tearing it up here. Pedal to the metal.
Fourth Brack's a charm, I guess.
Rainbow Poogle Miss Shenanigans herself joining us in chat. Loves her Brack. Loves her Bane. Loves it all. Anything shenanigan-y. I heard Poogle might be joining us maybe next week, perhaps as a player with a controller in her hand, or maybe with the microphone. Zara, I think Poogle probably put on a good show next week.
I always enjoy Poogle commentary. It's thorough, it's accurate, it's detailed, and it's engaging.
Yeah, and how about the ladies of FFR? The Terralins, Demarines. We've got a great show, and when you pair them together, they're pretty unstoppable, Zara. I think me and you would have time with them.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to get some teams on the microphone here, just as we have teams coming up in our league, as the ship is found in the 3rd floor of Sky.
Ship in a box. Speaking of teams in the league, we're talking about 4 player teams. The best example that I can tell you fans would be like a Team Vorpal sort of thing. Zardia, Shalasia, Falconic, and Wukleosis would be a good example of that. But, you know, friends have gotten together, enemies have gotten together, Czar, putting down all the old rivalries in the past because they know that they can play well with their teammate. Cumulative scoring. We'll have all that information coming up as the weeks go on. Like I said, the information just came out on Monday, just a few days ago. But it will be teams of 4, some individual and some teams, and it's been exciting to see all the pairings so far. A superpower team, new player teams, all this other sort of groupings that you wouldn't usually see if it wasn't for Season 2 that Ikben Maya came up with.
Yeah, it's going to be a great mix and variety. The options of the league and the co-op factor as well. You know, some teams are going to gel together. Other teams may have issues before they are able to get organized. And that's going to become evident as the league develops. There's a lot of information still to process with how the league is going to go down. So if you're interested in joining, please check out our Discord. We have all the information there for you. We're looking for as many people as we can get. And in the league, you have a lot better shot than you would in the tournament of advancing, because not only do you have teammates, but you also have a greater variety of options open to you.
Neon Gray joining us in chat. Neon Gray's pointing out, probably, it's got to be my favorite team, the meme team, I believe is assembling gosh knows somewhere. I can't wait to watch that. Tyrannex has entered and made quick work of Castle Ordeal, going to pick up his loot to essentially clear up and get all the items that it is that he needs, except I don't know if Tyrannex has been to the waterfall to pick up the rod quite yet. And based upon our tracking from St. Von Jester's, our Fuchsia Fantasy he's pulling ahead, like he always does.
Yeah, Fuchsia is on the move here, making very good time. We got a question from Manochi. Just finished his pizza. Can you get a recap, please? Absolutely. Excuse me. Absolutely, we can get you a recap. So to begin, the king had the canoe. Princess Sarah gave us the tail. The pirates had the slab. The sages gave up the crown. Sarda had the cube. We had a fairy giving us the oxyale, vanilla. The robot in the waterfall had the rod. The blacksmith had a vanilla Excalibur. Narek had the vanilla canal. The toga men had the chime. We had our bottle available in Corneria at 2500 GP. Also worthy of note, we had a floater in incentive ordeals. Excuse me, an incentive Corneria. We had a loot in incentive ordeals, as we see Tyrannex find that now. We had a ribbon in a key lock chest in the Elf Castle. The Massmune was found in the armory of the volcano, and the adamant was found in the Mirage Tower on the 2nd floor.
We'd also like to update you, there are 10 players in this match. We've got 5 off-screen, including Ikben Maya, the champion, Edgeworth, Shadow Walker, Tarnan. We got a whole bunch of things going on here with our 4 featured runners as well, which we believe of the featured runners that Fuchsia Fantasy, with a nice little lead right now, a fairly comfortable lead. However, doesn't have the Massmune yet from the Volcano Armory area.
In regards of enemies, we haven't seen anything too nasty yet. We did see some stone enemies early, but since then it's been relatively smooth running for these runners.
I'd like to tell you really quickly, available on our Discord, we have a weekly challenge seed. It started with Ikben Maya, and it was taken over by Falconic, who just took what we call a challenge seed. You can play it anytime you want. We kind of hand it out to you, and you record your time. We just kind of have fun with it. And Falconic really took it to the next levels, are introducing new features that I didn't even know about, you didn't even know about. But one of the new features that Falconic working with Demon Frog right now, encounter shuffles are happening. It's very, very primitive right now. We're working on it. It just came out a week ago. You could walk outside of Canaria at level 1 and run into a blue dragon, 2 frost dragons. So we got a whole bunch of stuff in the works coming from our great dev teams. Our dev team, they're just the best.
With those options becoming available, I can only feel that some FFR runs will probably work out a lot of like these Dragon Warrior randomizer runs do, where you run into an Axe Knight or a Red Dragon right out the gate, and anytime those flag sets are used, you're going to be looking at a completely different game in terms of early game routing, meta, everything.
The fun police.
Yes, I couldn't imagine encountering something like a group of red dragons right out the gate. It would be, I'm hoping early bridge is on at that point.
Yeah. And that camping gear, tents, cabins, houses are available.
It looks like Fuchsia Fantasy skipped the armory. Oh no.
Oh boy. There were 2 matches, Czar, that I had where my opponent skipped the armory. Located in the armory, one time was the power gauntlet, another time was the Mazmoon weapon. And it benefited me because my opponent decided to skip them. I've never skipped the armory, Czar. I can't bring myself to do it. Have you ever done that?
I've done it when I felt completely secure with my equips and I was in go mode.
Okay.
I think Fuchsia's there now. Fuchsia's putting a lot of faith in his Sun Sword here, so hopefully it will reward him. Again, with Fast and Temper, it should.
Right.
As we did see a Warmech there on Wappy's side, he managed to get away.
Ooh, Wappy runs from the Warmech.
So your prayers have been answered here in the weekly.
Lastoid does have the Game Changer equipped on his second night. You can see the Game Changer right now on a Lastoid screen is glowing. Look at the Game Changer glow on a Lastoid screen. He's got it equipped. Could be a distinct advantage coming up, potentially for a Lastoid in the endgame. Tyrannex with 2 orbs lit, on his way to Kraken. Finds a Pro Ring and a free chest. Gotta like seeing that.
So again, we're looking at this double knight combo there for Elastoid, and these swords would seem to give him a better chance, at least you would think late game.
Mm-hmm. Tyrannex runs into the Sharknado room, takes the trap tile. It's only 3 Cobras. He probably doesn't like them very much, but he's going to clear out this room, not find too much. Fuchsia Fantasy looking to light his 3rd orb. It was just 10 minutes ago when Fuchsia Fantasy didn't have an orb lit, and it was on his way to light 1. 10 minutes later, he steps away from lighting his 3rd.
Yeah, this is still a close race here. I mean, we all know that Temple of Fiends is a great equalizer. We haven't seen that much in the way of nasty spells or enemies yet, so they may all be lurking there. As Fuchsia is now going into the Earth Cave.
Wappy has gone through the Bridge of Destiny, avoided Warmech, didn't want to fight him. Taking on Tiamat, looking to take out his first fiend, being the Fiend of Air. Starts to attack with a nuke for a $156. There's an axe swinging knight for not much. There's another nuke for 121. Round 2 for Wappy against Tiamat. Fuchsia Fantasy has entered the Earth Cave, rod in hand. Pedal to the metal, already on the vampire floor of the rod block. Another nuke from Wappy into Tiamat. Doing some damage, tempering up the knight. No weapons down there for Wappy. I gotta be a little bit concerned at this point. Only 1 ribbon and only a couple weapons. The hold spell paralyzes the knight, but the knight got right back up.
Fortunate there, as the knight is currently his primary damage dealer. I would definitely throw that nuke out here. What is the knight swinging? Does he have like an ice sword? Or?
It's an axe. I think it's...
The light axe?
It might be the great axe. It looks like it's purple to me. I'm not sure. We'll see if we can get a look at what Wappy is swinging. A fire tube. The longer this fight goes, the more it favors the enemy. Wappy's attacking with Lightning 3. Lightning 3 is good enough. Level 20, 21. 21 for Wappy. He's got to be satisfied with that at the 57-minute mark. But it's only his first orb. So we'll see if he can get the pedal to the metal. Elastoid looking to light his second orb, taking on Carrie in the volcano.
Yes, we have fiends on our screens now.
Oh yeah.
Seeing as Wappy has the adamant, I'm surprised they did not pick up or excuse me, no, the adamant was in Mirage, so he just cleared it out there and confirmed that was the light axe. The light axe has a purple tint. The great axe is more of a pinkish tint.
Once again, we'd like to thank Manochi85, the buzzsaw himself, taking care of all the restreaming. You can see him smiling right now. Wappy goes directly to turning that adamant. Good. That's a veteran move here from Wappy. Realizes that he does need an in-game weapon. Takes off the light axe right here. Equips the Excalibur. Veteran move from Wappy. Very good play. St. Bond Jester taking care of all the tracking, keeping us up to date. Certainly as well. I'd like to thank Zardia for getting together with Wookleosis, bringing Team Vorpal here. It's something we've been talking about for a while, Zard. Absolute pleasure. Glad to finally make it happen.
Indeed, I'm liking it. It's I feel comfortable at this spot on the commentary, providing the recaps. We have Tyrnix with cracking down at the moment. He's going up to the waterfall. He'll pick up his rod there. And Tyrnix not very far behind Fuchsia at all here, as Fuchsia now is through Earth Cave very quickly.
It's 4 orbs. Fuchsia Fantasy has lit his 4th orb. I'm watching off screen as well. Fuchsia Fantasy is our player in this match with 4 orbs lit, heading directly to the Temple of Fiends. He doesn't need no shopping. He doesn't need no heal potions. Fuchsia Fantasy, sub 1 hour, 59 minutes, enters the Temple of Fiends Revisited.
That's pretty smooth for these flags.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to find out now if he does have the levels to get through. Will the Sun Sword be enough?
You can see him running from the 4 Frost Dragons. Now he gets a chance to strike 3 Frost Dragons. He's definitely going for... He's hitting a tough part of the encounter table here. You want to see this now, Czar. You don't want to see it on the water floor.
Absolutely not. The water floor is known to end many runs at the drop of a dime. But I mean, that can be said of any floor of Temple. Any one of these enemies can shuffle high hit points, high attack, any number of spells. Temple of Fiends really is a minefield of questions, enemies, and it will either go well or you're going to have to grind it out.
The trap tile shuffle, interesting. The Phantom trap tile was shuffled to an eye. So, for all players, and most especially Fuchsia Fantasy, first with that information, with only the Sun Sword, should they run into trouble later, a high absorb, some sort of high evasion without something like the Vorpal Sword, could be an option to, get some levels, something along those lines as well, right in the Temple of Fiends Revisited itself very quickly.
Yeah, I think the eye at that spot would be the ideal grind point, as it's not too far away from Temple, and you can grind out experience there very quickly. Also, parallel universe, eye and Phantom.
One thing that, Mr. Versetti actually pointed this out to me, Czar. The eye is a normal enemy, it isn't of undead status, but the Phantom is susceptible to harm spells and the Sun Sword itself. That's something a lot of players don't know, and that I didn't know for, 30 years.
Yeah, that's it is little known. It gives some effectiveness to the harm 4 spell. Normally people will pass if they have harm 3, but if Phantom is nasty, harm can absolutely do work there.
Stinger from the Green Medusas, slowing down Fuchsia Fantasy a little bit. I don't think he's gonna take the Medusas down. This is a good move, good experience here, especially with all the boosts going on. A little bit annoying, but it's not gonna cause any danger to Fuchsia at this point.
Yeah, and I'm seeing he's like level 24 now, so the experience boost from the key items in this seed has proven to be very big, as we're just over an hour here, and those are impressive levels for just over an hour.
Wappy is on the move. Just minutes ago, Wappy took out Tiamat. Now Wappy's on Carry, ripping through the volcano. Tyrnix is doing some shopping after class promotion, picks up Temper from Melmond, 1 orb left. Similar path that Fuchsia Fantasy took.
Yeah, the orbs will be coming quickly across the board now, I would only assume.
Off stream, we have our second player to enter the Temple of Fiends Revisited. It is Edgeworth. Right now, right around the original Phantom tile. Edgeworth is struggling with the eye. Something's going on. Edgeworth is actually down to 1 light warrior against the eye. So we'll keep an eye on that for our other players when they enter the Temple of Fiends Revisited. It could be something problematic. We know the eye had cracks, so...
Yeah, if he's down to 1, the lack of the ribbons there is going to hurt, and it's going to make that battle much less lucrative to grind, unless you go with a solo knight or something. So, chat, what do you think? Who's going to be the gatekeeper here? Is it going to be Carry 2, Kraken 2, Tiamat 2, or Chaos? Let's see what you think.
What do you think, chat? While chat answers that, Czar, no sign of the defense sword. Evasion, I didn't see Invis 2 either. I don't remember even seeing Fog 2.
No, I don't believe we saw any of those.
Yeah, I've got to be. You see, Elastoid right now finds Warp at level 7. It's over an on-rack.
Wow, it's
That's
expensive
lacking. Yeah, that's definitely lacking. That's something to keep in mind here. Here we go. Kraken 2. Fuchsia Fantasy pulls Kraken 2. Caused a lot of trouble for a lot of players in the past. Fuchsia attacks 4 hits, 89 damage. Kraken's not having it today. Fires back with an Ice 2. Fuchsia's going for the kill with a nuke. 374? 105. Another nuke. Triple nuke shots from Fuchsia. Kraken still standing. Fuchsia continues the assault. Here come 3 more nukes. 161. Kraken, he's not fighting back that much. 4 hits, 4 damage. Great strategy from Fuchsia here. There's a 5th nuke. Here comes a 6th nuke. Kraken is still standing. Fuchsia making a little bit of an adjustment. He's going to use fast on the Knight. The Knight hits for 115. Unfasted. Ice 3 from Kraken. Fuchsia Fantasy has gone down to Ice 2, saving those nuke charges. 6 of them were not enough. But that is... Down goes Kraken 2. 6 nuke shots used for Fuchsia. He adjusted mid-fight, Czar. He stopped using the nukes. He had to save them for later. I think that was a good, smart move. Veteran move for Fuchsia Fantasy.
I agree. He switched to the fast melee strat, and that katana did work there. That was a big hit from the katana to finish. So we see the thief and the katana play working in Fuchsia's favor here.
Once again, only one other player off stream. It is Edgeworth in the Temple of Fiends Revisited. Right now, Nuclear. Right out the gate. The skill of Nuclear has done some damage to Fuchsia Fantasy. It's from Tiamat. Here comes an attack from the Knight. 4 hits, 4 damage. Uh-oh. It could be Tiamat. Czar.
And he is tempering the thief here, the ninja, over the Knight. He's going with the critical of the katana, and it appears to be rewarding him.
Was that 817? Oh my gosh. Okay. Tiamat's still standing. 4 hits, 4 damage. The Knight isn't doing anything. He's healing the Red Wizard. He's got to... The Red Wizard is key here for Fuchsia. There's an attack for 139. Damage poison from Tiamat. Doing some damage. The Red Wizard is the key here. 4 damage. The Knight is out of this. There's another nuke. That's good enough. 118. He got through. That was a lot of potential danger for Fuchsia there. We're going to see that coming up a little bit later. He got through with all 4 warriors.
Katana doing a lot of work there. It's again, we see that the katana and the Vorpal, this is where they become lucrative against bosses like this. You can't find much of anything else in the way of a Mass Mean or an Excalibur. Fast and a couple tempers, and katana and Vorpal do a lot of damage.
Oh,
and
that's
consistent as well.
Yeah, where it matters. Exactly, where it matters. Fuchsia Fantasy has gotten through the echo of the floating castle. Fuchsia Fantasy has entered the Chamber of Chaos, the 106 mark. This is a... Fuchsia entered at 59 minutes. This is a 7-minute Temple of Fiends. He made it look easy. It wasn't. Fuchsia Fantasy has pulled the fight with Chaos to win this weekly match. He's going with walls. Wall on the Red Wizard. Zap right out the gate from Chaos. He's only got 1 ribbon. He's lost the Red Wizard. He's lost the Black Wizard. Gets a fast off on the Knight. 4 hits for 100 damage. You can see him thinking. See him thinking? He's pausing. That's not Fuchsia Fantasy. He's trying to adjust. 4 hits for 174. Chaos attacks for 204. It's 4 damage. Zari's in trouble. He's not doing enough damage. Oh, yeah, stun touch. He's paralyzed. His Knight is paralyzed. Dizzy, spinning endlessly is his Knight. 200 damage. The katana is all he's got right now. Nuclear. Nuclear from Chaos destroys the ninja. Chaos continues his assault to the paralyzed Knight, and down goes Fuchsia Fantasy.
Oh my goodness. Who rolled this myth?
Wow. Off stream, we still have Edgeworth battling Kraken 2. The focus has shifted off stream right now. Edgeworth, it's his match to win. Fuchsia Fantasy has the information, knows now what Chaos is like. I've got to think Czar, attack, nuke, and try to save those charges from his earlier run.
You have to, yes. I think if he would have got a couple tempers off on the katana, he would have had a chance. But that Chaos hits hard. There are no really evasion or defensive buffs open to him. And with stun touch, that's going to be very concerning.
Yeah, and you talked about earlier that you were hesitant about it. I'm definitely hesitant about it. It's the Sun Sword. Your Knight, You gotta kill this enemy. And even with the fast and the tempers, oh, there's a nuclear in there. Who knows what else Chaos had that we haven't seen yet. Without the defensive things, that Sun Sword, I don't think that's an option almost at all. I think that his move to make it with the ninja with the katana was the correct one. I will see how it is that he adjusts. Meanwhile, competition. Just to the right of Fuchsia Fantasy, Tyrannex has entered the Temple of Fiends Revisited right now. He's the third player to get in there.
Yeah, so we see here that Temple is the equalizer once again. We have a couple nasty gatekeepers at the end, especially that stun touch Chaos. That's probably going to be the story of this seed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Fuchsia Fantasy, with that information, is going to help a lot. Going to know to put the damage dealer. I would think it's the ninja. Would you move to the ninja here, Czar, given that it's only the Sun Sword ninja with the katana in the bottom slot, in the fourth slot?
Absolutely. I think that's the correct play. You need to protect them. The ninja is not known for its tanking ability. Put the ribbon on the ninja. Try to get some tempers and fast off and pray.
With both players now, Fuchsia Fantasy and Tyrannex, on the same floor of the Temple of Fiends Revisited, the Earth floor, off-stream, Edgeworth, the champion of the 2018 tournament, has pulled Chaos. We'll give you an update as soon as that fight is over, and we'll see what it is that happens there. Meanwhile, these are our only 3 players right now in the Temple of Fiends Revisited for this match. I'd like to thank Randomizer for hosting us tonight, bringing us into your home. Thank you to you, the fans. We just recently had our bonus stream voted on you, the fans. It's what it is that you wanted, and we brought it to them, Czar. We had a great time doing it. All those players earned it, and we had a blast.
Yeah, the bonus stream is always a lot of fun. I can't wait for the next tournament to find out what classes we get and how it's going to go down. But the league is going to have a lot of hype matches like that as well. So it's just, there's so many different variables that can happen. And to answer the question in chat, yes, this has been confirmed. This is a Zardia production.
Is that even a question? Elastoid has left Castle Ordeal's loot in hand, 1 orb to go. Tyrannex, essentially on the same path as Fuchsia Fantasy, 1 floor behind, really just steps, but a lot of information behind. Edgeworth off-stream is down to 1 Light Warrior, and he got him! Edgeworth has won this match off-stream with 1 Light Warrior still standing. GG's and congratulations to Edgeworth. The champion showing how it's done. 1 Light Warrior left. Right behind him now, it's a battle for second place. Tyrannex and Fuchsia Fantasy on stream. Top part of your screen here, fans. Tyrannex is starting to tear through it right now. Closing the gap a little bit on Fuchsia Fantasy here for second place. Wappy looking to light his 3rd orb. Right around the 1 hour, 11 minute mark.
So, given that Edge had that much problem with this Chaos, it's, I think the runners that come in with more equipment and more prepared now are going to do a lot better here towards the end. We still have no defense sword sighting, no white shirt, no power bonk, no Spog 2 or INV 2. Must have been level 8.
Our tracker, SVJ, Saint Von Jester, is alerting us in the chat room that Elastoid dug up the defense sword.
Okay, yes, I do see it on the tracker now, so that's going to benefit him huge against Chaos for sure.
Floating Fortress, I believe, it's SVJ, a rookie to tracking. Thank you very much, SVJ, for taking care of that. That gives us a lot more information. He's also got the Vorpal Sword. I like Elastoid's chances the best in the Temple of Fiends Revisited when he gets there. Kraken gets Rub through to the Knight. Fuchsia Fantasy has lost his Knight. Down to the Ninja, but that's the Fuchsia's primary damage dealer. Quad-X. He's going for Quad-X. First, it's a nuke. 175. Ice 3 from Kraken. Took out the Black Wizard. There's another nuke for 118. He's down to 2 warriors. Tyrannex is out. Tyrannex has left the Temple of Fiends Revisited. Slow 2. Slow 2 hit the Ninja.
Oh no.
Oh no. But a refast will get the Ninja back to where it was. There goes the fast. That's how this works. The Katana with 4 hits for 132 takes out Kraken 2. That's how you play this game, Czar. That's how you do it. You can refast past that slow 2. Well played by Fuchsia Fantasy.
Yes, wow, what a swing there. Tyrannex was right there, and just fate took its toll.
Whew. Wow. Fuchsia showing the experience. Tyrannex re-enters the Temple of Fiends Revisited. Pull me under, I'm not afraid, says Tyrannex. Meanwhile, Lightning 2 from Tiamat. 2 into Fuchsia Fantasy. Fuchsia has a temper, gets off a fast, still using the ninja. There's another temper. This ninja is ready to dance, and the ninja's gonna lead, says Fuchsia Fantasy against Tiamat 2. 300 damage into the Knight. I don't think Fuchsia cares. The Knight's gonna take all the hits. 4 hits, 4 damage. That Knight again is out of this. 2 more tempers into the ninja for Fuchsia. Fuchsia looking through his spells. What is he gonna do? Trying to conserve those spells. He thinks he's gonna need them against Chaos. Another temper. Fuchsia trying to take out. There's Fire 3 from Tiamat doing a little bit of damage as he survives. All 4 warriors are alive. 6 hits, 1,500 damage from the critical hit rate of the katana. Takes out Tiamat 2. Fuchsia Fantasy was the first to Chaos and perished. Edgeworth took this match with 1 warrior standing against Chaos. Edgeworth has joined us, I believe. Edgeworth, are you here?
I am, but keep calling this Fuchsia match. Sounds interesting.
Fuchsia Fantasy healing right now in the Echo of the Floating Castle. The only player that's close is Tyrannex. Behind him off stream is also Shadow Walker. Shadow Walker and Girl Drink Drunk are on the water floor. They're actually ahead of Tyrannex off stream. Second place, Fuchsia Fantasies to win. Has the information perished to Chaos earlier? What adjustments has Fuchsia Fantasy made? Did not put the ninja in the bottom slot.
Uh-oh.
I don't know about that, Czar. That's what I would have done. Gonna wall the red wizard. The wall gets off to protect against that zap. That zap is that first spell that came out. We think it got Edgeworth. We'll ask him about that in just a minute. All 4 of his warriors get casts off. Chaos attacks the ninja. 300 damage. The ninja's down on 1 knee, Czar. That's not the person you want to attack.
No, that's why you gotta move that ninja down to the last slot. I'm not sure what Fuchsia was thinking here. Maybe he was concerned about his tempers, or... Oh no, and now the Knight is down.
2 warriors down from Zap again. Zap exiles 2 light warriors of Fuchsia Fantasy to the 4th dimension. Now he's attacking for... Oh god, Nuclear. Nuclear, but a Cure 4. Fuchsia Fantasy trying to adjust. Tempering up the ninja that's only Thunder. Chaos has Thunder skill. Fuchsia is able to fight back for only 100 damage. More tempers are coming out. 300 damage, critical hits from the katana, very good. Only Ice 2 from Chaos. What else does this guy have? We don't know. Fuchsia continuing to adjust, healing the ninja. That's what he's got. Primary damage dealer must kill Chaos. 395. Very well done from Fuchsia Fantasy. Fuchsia's going to attack twice now. There's the katana for $120. He gets a free round with ink. Here's a nuke attack. Is this enough? 148 it's not. Chaos is still standing. Cure 3, he's going to continue to heal his ninja. 248 isn't enough. Blaze. Chaos has the Blaze skill. I don't know where that came from. Full health for the ninja. Fire 2. 300 health for the ninja. The ninja can survive, but attacks for 248, not enough. Fuchsia continues to heal the ninja. Everything's on the ninja, Czar. It's essentially mano a mano. I know he's got 2 warriors standing, but can he make it done? Fuchsia Fantasy attacks for 121. No, he's going to fire Brack. Brack is ineffective, and Chaos blows up Fuchsia Fantasy's ninja for 300. 4 hits, 287 is good enough. Fuchsia Fantasy takes down Chaos for 2nd place. An official SRL time, 1 hour, 17 minutes flat. GG's to Fuchsia Fantasy. Great adjustments, Czar. Well done. He learned, he fought the adversity, he got through all those spells, and he got this done to finish 2nd place.
Absolutely, some high drama there, some key adjustments late. Quad X may have been viable there toward the end as well. He chose Brack, but ultimately it didn't matter as the ninja was just enough to get by. Great adjustment by Fuchsia going in with the Knight and the Sun Sword, knowing that the katana is available temper and fast, and it carried him to a 2nd place victory today.
Congratulations to Fuchsia Fantasy for 2nd place. Meanwhile, Edgeworth, the 2018 Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament champion, joins us here in the booth. Finished 1st place tonight in the weekly. Edge, tell us about your game. You were off stream. Give us anything. How'd you feel?
I mean, other than sort of that roundabout pickup of the floater, it felt like a Swiss seed. The experience adjustments it definitely feels like you can pick up a lot of levels in Sky. So I was a little bit higher level than I expected to be going into Temple of Fiends, and that zap was scary. But I think I just got the good end of RNG compared to Fuchsia on this race.
All our players that we saw, Edge, had one ribbon. Did you have only?
Yeah, I only found one.
You and Fuchsia Fantasy throughout the whole game were step for step, one on stream and one off stream. The Fuchsia Fantasy actually pulled ahead of you at the end. Can you tell us a little bit about your chaos battle and how you got down to one warrior and how you were able to take out and win this match?
It was after the zap hit. It only got one character, and having the knight in the back row, just stacking tempers and hitting chaos, and he just proceeded to punch out everyone else. So the tempers just did enough damage. I already had paralysis touch too, which is kind of ugly. I never saw that.
Fuchsia Fantasy sure did. Fuchsia, have you joined us tonight, sir?
Yes, I have.
The paralysis touch on chaos, is that what cost you the first round?
No, as soon as Zap hit, I was done. Because it wiped out both my temper casters, and I wasn't scratching anything on chaos without crits, and I had very limited healing. The paralysis, I might have lasted a little longer, but I don't think I would have got through all of Chaos's HP.
Mm-hmm. You decided to skip the Volcano Armory. Located in there was the Masmo, and I believe that's your endgame weapon of choice. What made you skip that?
I had a really bad early game, and I just said, I have the katana. I'm good with the katana. I will go with the katana. I saw the ribbon and katana in Elfland Treasury, and I just said, my early game was not good, so I had to move.
By 40 seconds.
And we are joined now by Shadow Walker and Gold Drink Drunk, who have finished in third for Gold Drink Drunk and fourth for Shadow Walker. Welcome. GG to you both.
Thanks. Good game.
So tell us about your run there towards the end. We'll start with the Gold Drink Drunk. Very good showing today for third place. What did you think about that chaos?
So it wasn't as high wire as my Sunday match, but I still mitigation. I was stuck with Invis 2 at level 8. And when I started Topher, I did not have any charges. I was one level away, so I just had to go for it. And thankfully, this time on Chaos, I was able to land fast and 2 tempers. So compared to Sunday, this was really easy.
A quick update on our stream. Tyrannex is down to 1 war. Trying to do what Edgeworth did. He's got the Masmo. 841 isn't enough. Nuclear from Chaos down to 300 HP. There's the Masmo again, 256. Another round. Here comes the Masmo for Tyrannex. Can he close this out? Yes, he can. 5th place for Tyrannex. GG's, Tyrannex. 1 hour, 21 minutes, 31 seconds. We'll get him in here real quick. Right now, we're going to go back to GDD. And Shadow Walker, congratulations, 3rd and 4th place. Very, very well played. An update off stream as well. Ikbin Maya has joined Elastoid and Wappy. Everyone's in the Temple of Fiends Revisited, looking to close out this match.
Where was Mazza? I never managed to find that.
It was the armory in the volcano.
I was skipping a whole lot of chests, but I found the admin along the way, so I turned that in for Xcal, and I made that work out for me.
Cool.
Tell us about your play with the ninja there, Fuchsia. Did you feel comfortable with the Sun Sword and the katana going into Temple?
I totally felt comfortable with that. And it worked, so...
It did, yes. It rewarded you quite well. So the thief definitely paid dividends on this siege, saving time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of why I run the thief. In the outside chance I find a katana, the ability to run from battles, although it wasn't working the way it was supposed to. I had more thief run fails than I've had in, my last 10 games combined.
Yeah, that seed didn't seem to be very friendly for running away. I found myself throwing out a lot of nukes. Run, nuke strats.
Well, I think what kind of screwed me in the early game was that I didn't remember that the bridge was, you got the free bridge. And had I gone the route with the free bridge, I would have saved myself a few minutes, 2 minutes
yeah.
maybe.
I did that in my practice seed, and I just made sure not to make that mistake again.
Yes, we did question that here on the comms, and you did take a divergence from the other runners going that direction. You obviously made up time for it in the end, but we see that Elastoid is through now to this chaos. Let's
Yeah,
wish him luck, everyone.
I like it. He's got a dual knight strategy. He's got the Vorpal on one knight, weapon on the other knight. Look at moving him around. Blastoid, newer player to the community. He's only played like 5-6 matches. Already moving everyone around. Puts the Black Wizard up front. Going to take on this Chaos. This Chaos was no walk in the park. Our players here, they're joining us right now. They'll tell you all about it. Let's see what Blastoid wants to do. It's like a fast and a temper, I think. Yes. Temper on the knight. Nuclear right off the bat. As a skill from Chaos, and Elastoid has just learned of Chaos's Absorb. 1 damage and 55 damage. There's a fast. Look at Elastoid. Pause. Just a second. Now Elastoid has the information. Now, how does he adjust in this fight? He knows our players is finished. He knows Fuchsia's done. He knows Edgeworth is done. 2 great players. He knows it's beatable. Can he make this happen? He's down to 42 hit points on the Red Wizard. He can't be too happy about that, but you got to see it coming. There goes a fast on the other knight. 7
Wappy
hits,
is right behind him.
28 damage. Wappy has entered the Chamber of Chaos. Down goes the Black Wizard for Elastoid, starting to adjust a little bit more. Wappy's going to find out all this information real soon. He's going to get hit with a nuclear. 8 hits, 167. Elastoid's starting to break through a little bit. There's 235. Starting to figure out exactly how to adjust and take out this Chaos. Another temper. Zap from Chaos is the first spell. Nuclear is the first skill. Wappy just lost 3 Light Warriors. He's down to the knight. With the Masmoon, it's mono for Wappy. He must make this happen now. Hold A and win. It's not happening right now. There's the nuclear. Wappy's getting decimated by Chaos. Trying to hold on. 174 is not going to do it. 86, 2 warriors left. It's the 2 knights. Elastoid's main strategy. Thunder, the thunder skill comes out from Chaos against Elastoid. Only 54 damage. We got a horse race here. 1 knee for Wappy. 38 HP left on the right side. 234 is not going to get it done. Wappy trying to get a Hail Mary. 5 damage from the Masmoon isn't going to get it. No, but Elastoid makes it happen. 125.
Oh my God.
SRL time. What a play for Elastoid. Oh, and Wappy did it too. Oh, baby. Oh, wow.
I'm looking at
with it. Oh, wow. 125.40, 125.52. Elastoid got 6. Wappy with 7th within seconds of each other.
what a finish.
Czar, when that zap got Wappy and he lost 3 warriors, we saw all our other players struggle with Chaos. What a play. 38 HP left, and Wappy makes it happen.
What a clutch finish for Wappy. GG. Great showing by all the runners today. We did have a question from Spectre for Edgeworth. Did you see Zap from Chaos Edgeworth?
I think Edgeworth had to jump out real quick. He's got something quick. But I did get a chance to see Edgeworth's fight. I was taking a good look at it. And the Zap did come out early. It was obviously the first spell on Chaos list. And it only got 1 Light Warrior. I'm not sure which one it was, though.
We're going to try and get Wappy and Elastoid in here for a post-race interview.
Zap was a little bit annoying. Unfortunately, it took down one of my red mages. I went with a double red strat, and if ever there was a seed for it, this was the one. Life 2, Nuke, Cure 4. There was great spell selection.
So we're going to get you an update on our remaining off-stream runners in just a moment.
It's Maya. Ikben Maya is the last player in this match that I can see. He is fighting Chaos right now. He's down to 2. He's about to be down to 1 warrior. Common theme here, Sar. 1 warrior and make it happen. He got it. Maya takes it. Maya has finished this match. 8th place, 127.54. Big cluster at the end here. Less than 90 minutes in this match. Pretty impressive. Very competitive.
Do we have
Okay.
any update on Tarnin?
I've been trying to get an update on Tarnin. I'm not sure. Tarnin was a player in this race. Great new player here. But I have no information right now on how Tarnin is doing. It might have been a technical issue.
Yeah, he was speaking. He might be able to lose connection today, so that's probably what happened. Most unfortunate. We will get an update for you on Tarnin as soon as we can.
I'd like to jump to GDD, Girl Drink Drunk. Are you here with us?
Oh yeah, still here.
Well done. Great showing in this match. GDD, you're kind of moving up from all these new player things that we've done here, and the results certainly speak for themselves. What do you think about your future here in the community and with this game? Is it a tournament? Is it a league? Is it one-on-one? Or is it just fun? Or is it competitive for you?
All of the above. I haven't joined the league yet, but I'm the kind of person who reads end user license agreements to make sure see what I'm getting into. So after I do that, I'll sign up for the league, and I intend on playing in that and hopefully playing in any future tournaments.
Thank you, GDD. Wappy, have you joined us, my friend?
I believe we do have him here, just waiting on a microphone. Looks like they're attempting to reconnect. We hope to have Wappy back in here, and gonna pull him in now.
Are you there now, Wappy?
Hello?
There he is. GG's, Wappy. That fight.
Thanks.
Zap. Right off the bat, you lost all 3 warriors.
Yeah, that was cool.
Did you think you could take down Chaos and finish this match? How were you feeling when that hit you?
Not great. Yeah, no, I thought I was dead, but he used that quad X and got some low rolls on some spells. So I like the 5 hits for 4 damage that I was doing. That was great.
Well, sometimes the Mazmoon, it got the job done. I once learned that whether you win by an inch or a mile, winning's winning, and you got the job done, Wappy. It was very well played. We saw you on screen certainly all night. A little bit of a tougher early game. Did you expect the floater to be locked in Castle Canaria?
Figured out that that's what it had to be as I was walking around the doing laps. Good times.
Very close finish with yourself in the Lastoid. We're going to try to get a Lastoid in here. We also know him as Cirque in the for a post-game interview as well. So that'll be certainly in just one moment. We'd like to thank Minochi85, the buzzsaw fixture here in the Final Fantasy Randomizer community. Again, taking care of the restreaming today, making really all this happen, along with Randomania and their family of networks for bringing us into your home tonight. Also, SVJ, St. Von Jester, along with Mr. Versetti helping us out on the tracking. And these are the people that volunteered their time because they love this game to make this happen, Zara. It's such a great community and such great people that can bring us all this action and bring it right into the home of the fans, more than once a week essentially. And it's such a great thing to have.
It is, and we want to send a big thanks out to Randomania, our viewers, our community here, our regulars. We value all of you very much, and we hope to continue this quality entertainment for you all, as we are now joined by Elastoid. GG. Tell us your thoughts on that chaos.
Yeah, basically, I think the lesson I learned here is when your encounter table is terrible, don't early dive Mirage. Found up, I think, having to triple dip it just because I didn't have enough nuke charges to go around.
Elastoid, you were actually the first person to jump into the tower. You were featured tonight here. You were followed by people that made that same sort of move. So it's not that you were alone at all. I wanted to ask you about your double fighter into the double knight strategy. Do you think that paid off for you, or would you rather have not done that?
It's typically a safety thing. I like having the tank and the damage source be different.
That's a strategy that I've used.
More difficult seed, but without chaos or bosses that have difficulty dying, then it's not going to necessarily pay off. I'd imagine that 2 red mages would have done a lot better. Abundance of loot.
Yeah, I absolutely love the strategy. I've used it certainly many times as well. And when you can get like a Mazmoon, an Excalibur, a defense, a good strong weapon, and pair it with whether it's that or pair it with something else for a damage dealing plus an absorbing type tank. I think it's a very, very good strategy, and you certainly showed that against Chaos. It was very, very well played. You and Wappy were neck and neck fighting Chaos. If you get a chance to watch this back, I think it's certainly worth your time. Let's
Yeah,
see.
I thought I was in good shape finding the Vorpal, the Excalibur, and the defense sword in Mirage and Sky Palace. So of course I skipped Massmune entirely. Because why would you go to check the armory? So I think I lost a lot of time there just from the order of operations there.
So Ikbin, Maya, and Tarnin have declined a post-race interview. Apparently Maya's going to be doing a salty run-back race, so anyone interested, check out the Discord. We're probably going to be having another race here shortly. So I think we're just about ready to wrap it up here. Will, if you want to transition us over to some final thoughts from our runners.
Yeah, absolutely. Our winner tonight was Edgeworth, champion. Showed, certainly what it is that he can do to make it happen. Fantasy finishing in very, very second place. Fuchsia, we have you live back on the mic. Any final thoughts on tonight's match? Fuchsia.
Looks like we've lost audio from Fuchsia for some reason. I think they're attempting to remedy it now. While we're rating on him, we can move over to Girl Drink Drunk. Any final thoughts on today's race?
Oh, so these seeds, I guess, are the start of league seeds. They're very interesting and very fast. I enjoyed them a lot.
GDD, thank you for joining us tonight. Very, very well done. You're on my radar.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a compliment. Certainly, thank you very much. Shadow Walker 227, good friend of mine. Any final thoughts tonight, sir?
These are very fast flags. I thought by skipping a lot of chests, I would have saved myself some time, but Edgeworth is a beast. Hard to compete with that.
Out of the shadows, Wappy. Any final thoughts tonight?
I need to practice. That was also I have cord issues. But
we will figure it out, my friend. Anything you need, join the Discord, which you already are on, or anyone else with regards to Final Fantasy Randomizer. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, Wappy. And get back and watch that video because yourself and Elastoid was certainly a great show. Team Vorpal, Zardia, we finally got together. An absolute pleasure to work with you.
Yeah, it was great to work with you as well, Will. It's I'm hoping to get in the microphone booth again very soon. And I enjoy this role. I enjoy color commentary on the recaps. So hopefully we can get that done in the future. Any final thoughts from you, Elastoid?
No, I'm just looking forward to getting better at this because as much as I love coming in 5th or 6th or whatever I did, I'm gunning for you guys.
Oh, I love it. I love hearing that, Zar.
I love it too.
It's great. It's great. You're gonna get at least me. I can speak for me. You're gonna get me. It's gonna happen. We'd like to remind you that a special challenge match is coming up Saturday. It's the 8th of September, 7 p.m. Eastern time. It's gonna be right here on the Randomania family of networks, Randomania Prime. It's the undefeated Romulus. It's gone through hordes and hordes of other players, some new, some veteran. No one has beaten him. He's undefeated. He's the #1 ranked player for Final Fantasy Randomizer, and he has accepted rather quickly the challenge of yours truly, Will Cleosis. They call me the Dragon Slayer every now and then. It's time to prove that again. Trying to give Romulus his first loss and non-first place will be Wickliosis. That's going to be 7 p.m. Eastern time right here on Randomania. Demon Frog coming back out of the shadows, going to be on the call. Mr. Versetti, the veteran Mr. Versetti, going to jump in on microphone as well. It's going to be a great show. We're talking floor and entrance shuffle, some of the newer features that we don't have in the league, things that we're still polishing. We certainly invite you to join us here for that as well.